Hey guys, it's Brandon here again for another video. Today I'm going to be talking about ways that starting a business and starting a specifically real estate investment business as a 22-year-old. I'm going to be talking about the ways that starting that business have made me grow. So the business has forced me to grow in very specific ways. One very notable thing that probably a lot of young people are going to notice is when you start your own business, people have to take you seriously if you really want to succeed or really see much success in your business. So some things you're going to have to do, like waking up early. That was one example for me where I just learned that I had to wake up at a certain time and I had to get used to it. There was no more sleeping in every single day. If I have a day off, I might do it, but generally now I pretty much have to be prepared to wake up a lot earlier than I used to when I was just working. And a lot of the time, that's the only time that you have to squeeze in these new business tasks that you have to do, like going to a bank when, I work from 10 to 6. I don't really have much time to go to a bank during their normal business hours other than, before I go to work. So, that's one example. You have to be up as well, like fitting in calls to utility companies, setting up a lot of stuff like that, making meetings with insurance companies. These are things that grow you in a business sense. Like you have to be playing at a certain level before people will take you seriously and will do business with you. If I were to dress up in basketball shorts and a raggedy t-shirt and go to the property and it's in horrible condition and I'm asking a professional contracting company to come in and fix it for $50,000, if I'm doing that and I'm dressed like that and I'm not speaking properly and I'm using slang or whatever, they're not going to take you seriously. So that's just another example. So presenting yourself in a professional manner really is important, especially when you're young, just because so many people can discount what you're doing and what you're saying and what you're trying to achieve just because of your age. So you don't want to give them any more ammunition as to why you might not be a good bet for their business or a good client for their business. And I mentioned earlier, doing business with an insurance company. It's a place where, if you're going in there to get business level insurance as a landlord, they probably don't expect some 22-year-old kid to come in there anyway. And just think, if you present yourself badly in that situation, they might not really take you seriously. They might just discount the business that you may be bringing to them because they don't think it's actually going to pan out. And I personally, in my job where I work in property management, sometimes if people don't present themselves well at the very beginning, I'm already thinking, okay, this probably isn't going to pan out because we have certain standards that we, hold our work to, and that, we hold our we have certain standards that we are going to follow. And if someone appears to not really fit those standards at the beginning, it makes whoever is dealing with you a little bit less enthusiastic about doing business with you. And I've seen that again on the side where I'm the person kind of being judgmental in a business dealing with someone, and then also on the other side is someone looking for services. Now, I haven't really gotten much pushback from people as far as people not wanting to do business with me, but I think that's generally because I present myself as somewhat, educated person who's, motivated, and, I have decent, at least somewhat semi-casual, but somewhat business attire. I'm not going in basketball shorts and tennis shoes to do business. I might dress up a bit, just wear a simple button-down t-shirt, khaki pants, and then some like kind of in-between shoes, like polo shoes or something. It gets the job done, and that's just something that you kind of get used to. But a big thing that I've noticed is the timing. Owning a business, operating a business, you need to start to be more flexible with your time, and you need to be more responsible and effective with your time. Managing your time is honestly one of the most important things, I would say probably in almost any business, but personally I've noticed it in the rental investment landlord business. Timing means a lot, and some of these people who might be doing work on your property, they might be, the first time that you meet with them, they may only be available during certain hours, and you might need to be flexible with that. So timing is definitely important. Having the right attire is definitely important. And just keep in mind, when you're doing business at a young age, people will see you in a different light, simply because of your age, because you're younger, and they know that you might not have as much experience in a lot of areas. So it's really up to you to prove them wrong. It's not up to them at all to be extra accepting of you because you're young. No, it's your job to prove yourself, because you're the one who is seemingly lacking in a certain way, and that's mainly in experience. A lot of people are going to see you and they're going to think, okay, does this kid know what he's doing? Is this kid really going to be able to produce results? I mean, imagine going into a bank and asking for a loan, for a business loan. I just did this at the very beginning, really, when I was starting, the business. I think even before we actually bought our first property, and I was asking the kind of loan officer or whoever is in charge of loans at the normal bank that I go to. I was asking him, okay, so what kind of loan options can I have? And he said that they don't really do personal loans at that bank, and they might not. It might be true. It was Chase. They don't really. It's probably not one of their biggest focuses. He said to go to a smaller local bank. They're more specialized in that. So he might not have been lying, but it's just the idea of when you're getting started, sometimes people might not be willing to pull the strings to work something out for you if you don't look serious. Because it's very possible that there might have been a loan option that could have worked for me. It might not have been exactly a personal loan, or it might not have been at the perfect interest rate, but there was probably something. What he recommended to me was that, basically I get a credit card, or I do something, or I go to a local bank, and that was his response to me. And it was reasonable. I understood. I didn't go in there expecting to get some amazing loan with an affordable interest rate. I was basically just going in there to see what would happen. And as far as growth, I would say a lot of it too is you grow in how frugal you can be, how much money you can save. I remember before I bought the first property, before I bought, any properties, I was saving quite a bit of what I made. Maybe close to like 40%. I would say if I average it out, I would say I was saving it, and I was trying to save up for really just an investment, or I was just trying. I mean, that was my first step. My first step was to save, to try to better my finances. And I started doing that, and I probably was getting up to about 40% of my income saved, maybe closer to 30, I don't know, but somewhere in that range. And now, since I've bought the property, since I have a significant investment that I've got to keep up with, I've started saving close to probably 60% of my net income. And I mean, I'm not making a ton of money, I'm just being pretty frugal in a lot of ways, cutting down costs on eating out, although it's one of my favorite things to do, and I still do it occasionally, but I've tried to do it in more intelligent ways. And also, I started making food at home more often, and I realized you can make some really good food at home and save quite a bit of money compared to if you did that at a restaurant. And then also, I have a really old beat up car, which I think would be awesome to show people down the road, 5-10 years from now, if I'm successful in rental real estate or another business. Just show them my roots and where I started. I had a car that I bought for $1,200, and it doesn't even have the 2 back door panels on. They were off when I bought it. They're still in the trunk because I haven't had time to mess with it. And it overheats on me occasionally, not to the point where I can't drive it, but it's just, I've just been really cheap with my car because I know that if I want to invest in this business and do it right by having the property renovated right to where I can get good tenants, I've got to fork over some money. And I figured it's better to be frugal than to try getting a loan from family, or something else, or going some other route. I figured if you can be frugal and save the money and not have to get the loan, the initial loan to start something, that's all the better. Getting loans is really important, and leveraging your money is really important, and it's one of the best things I think that can really help grow a business, especially in real estate. But there was no real need at the beginning because I actually bought the property on auction, and I wasn't able to buy it with a loan. A conventional bank isn't going to give you a loan on some beat up property when you've never renovated something before, never overseen a project like this before. So basically, I did it cash starting out by being really frugal and having a partner to help with the costs. And we got it done, and now we can look to getting a mortgage on the property, or if we need to, HELOC or home equity line of credit, just something to pull the money back out and then reinvest it in more rental properties. I've tried to focus this video on ways that starting a business and entrepreneurship has grown me as a person. And really the main ways are, it's made me appreciate my time more, it's made me be more effective with my time, it's made me be more flexible with my schedule. If I need to wake up early, I can do it to get some business done. And that's not something that I was doing a year ago. I really struggled with waking up early, but it's given me that push. And that's one good thing about entrepreneurship, is it's always going to give you a push in some way, and you can use it to grow yourself in a lot of great ways. So if you guys like the video, please give it a like, subscribe if you think that you'd be interested in future videos about real estate, entrepreneurship, and being a young business owner. I plan to make a lot more videos about this in the future, videos about building credit, videos about getting loans, videos about dealing with people renovating your properties. I've got a lot of stuff that I could talk about, and the more I make videos, the more I realize I actually have a lot of experience that if someone was just coming from scratch trying to start this business, it would be helpful to know what I know. So even though I'm not an expert yet, I've noticed I've got a lot of important information that I can give, and I'd love to give that out to you guys. I'm trying to build the channel, I'm trying to build a following, just because it's something that I'm interested in and it's something that I'm passionate about. So yeah, support the channel. I would definitely appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another video.